So, Bill.
Yes.
You are one of the people that really is a prime mover in extreme bronc riding.
Yes.
It's been known as a lot of things over the years, and the point of that is it's been a lot of years. Matter of fact, you've told me several times it's one of the original rodeo events.
That's true.
Tell me a little bit about the history of it, and then we'll ask you to explain exactly what extreme bronc riding. I know you've taught me how to do it. I can't say that I can do it.
We did that, yes.
But tell me a little about it.
We'll talk about the event. Okay, so the event came from ranch work, right? And when rodeo started, what we know as rodeo today, not just two ranches getting together competing, but where they actually brought the cowboys in, they paid an entry fee, was around the late 1880s. By the late 1890s, you had Cheyenne and Prescott and a lot of these named rodeos today already in existence. Soon after the turn of the century, you start picking up Pendleton Roundup and Ellensburg and Calgary and all those. So we knew it was a sport to stay. Okay, so there were three original events, and the extreme bronc riding was one of those because it was used on the ranch. You went out into the corral, you roped the horse you want. If he wouldn't stand, so you get a saddle on him. Somebody reached up, put an arm over his neck and held him down, and you put a saddle on him. And then you got aboard and you bucked him out, and then you went to work. And that's just the way it was. So it turned into a competitive event real fast. Now it was known as wild horse racing originally, and then it was team bronc riding, and our association is the Extreme Bronc Riding Association.
Now, it looks like, well, you call it what? Organized chaos?
Controlled chaos.
Yeah, it's mayhem is what it is. You've got a three-man team. It's a wild horse who is not necessarily the friendliest guy in the arena. You got three guys that have to stop, saddle, and one of them has to ride him through the start-finish line. Tell us how that all happens.
Okay. Well, first let me explain something. These are not wild horses, because a lot of times when that is said, that's why the name was changed, because they think we're going out and rounding up Mustangs, and that's not it. These are unbroke bucking horses. So these are animals that have been raised on the reservation, the ranches, the bucking programs that they bring in and use in our event as the horses are growing up. It teaches them a lot of things. One, it teaches them to stand in the chutes. The guys are handling them. They're putting halters on them. Really calms the horses down so that by the time they get to the bronc riding, they aren't hurting the bronc riders in the chute by flipping over or rearing up or jamming them against the gate. So that, I think, is a plus. But so you got a three-man team. They're in the chute. They have a halter and a lead shank on him. And the lead shank can be up to 16 feet. But most of the guys run about 13, 9, 14 feet. Okay, you want less of it under your feet. You're all on the rope, the shank, fire the gun, starting whistle, whatever. You open the gate, and the horse comes out. So you have a hold of it. You aren't chasing him around the arena. At least you have a hold of it till he comes to the end of that shank.
Well, you have a hold of it, but he's also got a hold of you.
That's right. You may lose him right at there, but okay.
And so I've seen you guys, not just your team, but all the guys over the years, get dragged all through the arena.
Oh, yes.
It's not like just stop them.
No.
It's,
for
the crowd, it can be very entertaining.
Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what you do. Let's take a rope and put it on the back of a motorcycle, and then have the motorcycle take off, and you try and stop him. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You got to move with him to start with, and slow him down. Now, not all horses are the same. They're like people, too. Some horses may come out 3 jumps and just stop and say, I'm not going any further. Some horses, like you said, they come out, hit the end of the shank, and they're gone. And you got 2 guys dragging across the arena trying to stay with him long enough they can slow him down. So the object is, like you already said, contain the animal or control him, put a saddle on him, and buck him through the finish line. Now, if Monty Roberts, the horse whisperer, was doing this, he would do it in about an hour and 20 minutes, and he'd have the horse all settled. Here at this rodeo, if you want to get first place, you better be less than 45 seconds getting through that barrel, or you're not going to get first. And if you want to place, you better be less than a minute, somewhere in the placings.
You have a 2-minute time limit for the whole race.
Yes.
But if you get to that point, you're way last place.
And everybody who places on the finish line under 2 minutes will get a credit for that towards the average. But in the go-rounds, it doesn't pay for every team that crosses. Only so many placings in a go-round. So you want to get there quickly. And you've got Now, what we're really going to do is make it difficult, because we're not going to have one team doing this. We're going to have 6 to 8 teams doing it at the same time in the same arena. So here at Santa Maria this year, we have 6 to 8 teams every night, depending on how the draw went. So let's say we have 8 teams. So we have 8 horses and 24 cowboys all in the arena at the same time, trying to get to that finish line for first place.
So it can be crazy at the time they're doing it. Now, you mentioned the Horse Whisperer. He's actually a local guy, and I didn't say this at the beginning, but you're a local guy, too. Your whole family's involved in this. The sport's been growing, and you're right from right here in San Ynez.
Yes. Yeah, we're in San Ynez, and all my children have been raised there, and we've been in San Ynez for about 45 years. And it's growing. Yes, it is. And at one time, a lot of rodeos had it, and then it kind of tapered off a little bit in the 60s and the 70s, and it boomed up, and then it went back. But now it's on the rise again, and it's being picked up by a lot of rodeos.
And one last thing. I see the crowds. They just roar. They love watching this, don't they?
They love watching us getting drugged. Yes, they do. They love seeing a cowboy bucked out the back door. No, it's exciting because, and I'm not being critical of anybody else's event, but if you watch a bucking horse come out, and you watch the next one and the next one, you've probably seen the bucking for that particular performance. The horses are pretty much going to buck the same, on the same night, in the same arena, out of the same chutes. Okay, when you've seen our event once, you haven't seen the second go yet. It's going to be totally different when it comes out. Horses are going to react different depending on who's handling them, what if it's daytime, if it's nighttime, how they broke out of the chute, what chute they were in. So you can always expect the unexpected when you're watching it.
All right, well, I expect to say thank you very much, Bill. It's always a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for being with us today on our special rodeo edition of 805 Sports Talk. Nice to see you. Thanks again.